All right, Berkly, I'll let you start. So first of all, talk to me a little bit about growing up in Saskatchewan. I talked to the Fleury brothers a couple years ago, and they said basically as soon as they were born, they were in ice skates playing hockey. Was that the same for you?
Yeah, exactly the same. I, ever since I was a little kid, I remember being on the outdoor rink, and it's kind of where I grew up. Learned lots of my hockey skills out there. So ever since I was a little kid, that's all I remember is just playing hockey, really.
And so when would you say you got your first pair of skates?
Oh, before I was even born, probably. But I remember my first pair of time skating was like 2 or 3 years old, so I could barely even walk yet.
Gotcha. And then take me through growing up playing hockey, just kind of what was it like kind of learning the game, and when did you first kind of see your skills start to come to fruition a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know. I think kind of right. Oh, nice goal.
There we go.
When I was, it's called initiation there, and it was just like you kind of get in skates, and I already been playing a couple years beforehand, so I think that's kind of when I knew a little bit that maybe I was pretty good at it.
Gotcha. And then talk to me a little bit about coming to Spokane. I know you probably had some college offers, some things like that. Yeah. Why did you decide to start your pro career and come play here in Spokane?
I don't know. I think there was lots of things. Obviously, there's lots of people from Saskatoon that have played here in Spokane, and just kind of talking with them and how great it was. And, I always kind of wanted to go the Western League route, so that was kind of the two biggest things. Then obviously looking at the crowds and stuff and how amazing of a place this is, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Gotcha. And then just talk to me about your first couple of years here, what it's been like learning the WHL, and, you were a young guy when you first got here. What's it been like kind of learning on the go?
Yeah, I think it's kind of been interesting for me because when we started out here, we struggled quite a bit when I first got here. Then now we're a top team in the league, so that's been really interesting. And then I think there's lots to learn here in the Western Hockey League. You come in as a 16-year-old, and you're playing against 20-year-olds, and it's a different level of hockey than midget hockey. So you learn a lot quick, but it's been a really great experience for me so far.
And then talk to me a little bit about last year, kind of coming into your own. What was that like, and kind of becoming a leader for this team as well?
Yeah, draft year is obviously a big year, so there's lots of pressures and stuff that way, and then obviously I think we took a step in the right direction team-wise, so that was always good. But yeah, it was a fun year and another year of learning a lot as a 16-year-old when you're trying to find your footing kind of. And then last year I felt like I got a little bit more confident, a little bit more opportunity and stuff. So that was great, and I think I had a pretty solid season.
Take me through draft day, the whole hype leading up into it, and then when you finally heard your name called by Matty Beniers that you were going to be a member of the Kraken, just what did that whole experience mean to you?
Yeah, it's weird going into that day. You have no clue what's going to happen, and then a couple of hours later you're part of an NHL team and talking to Marshawn Lynch behind the scenes. It's a really cool day, and it's kind of the whole year kind of leads to that moment, and being in that sphere and stuff with all the other top, kind of guys was a really cool experience, something I won't ever forget. But, ultimately worked out really well to get drafted by Seattle, right around the corner here. So, really cool experience. Couldn't ask for a better experience, really. Gotcha.
And then take me into the beginning of this year. You try out a little bit with the Kraken, get to work out with them. Then they tell you that you're coming back here. You get named the captain, and I think Matt made it clear pretty much early on that you guys were going to be a force. You guys go out and get Smith, Sam, bring those guys in, eventually AC. It kind of seemed like, with the Memorial Cup around the corner, this was the year that Matt wanted to see you guys really get to that next level. What's kind of the pressure being the captain when that's kind of put on you and your team this year?
Yeah, I think kind of going back to the start of the training camp there, seeing the NHL players and how good they are, and then trying to implement some of that back here into my game, and even for the young guys here, and to kind of pass some of that knowledge on, it's been great. But yeah, I think kind of getting those guys, that's a lot of credit to Matt for putting us in that situation, but also credit to us for playing ourselves in that situation, and obviously with AC, the top scorer in the league. So getting that's been great, but I think it's credit to the guys. We've kind of started from the start of the year right till now. We've been awesome. So being a leader on this team isn't too hard because everyone leads. So but it's been great so far.
And talk to me about this top line. I think all of you guys are in the top 10 in the league in scoring. What's it like playing with these guys on a night-to-night basis?
Yeah, that's like we all get our own accolades or whatever from this year, but we all help each other out in that way too. I think we all complement each other very well. A little bit of everything, you know. Shea's gritty, you know, can make plays. Andrew has the ability to slow down the game, and you know, I can bring the speed. So we have a little bit of everything, and you know, that works out really well. And I think ever since maybe not the first game we kind of got lit up, but the second game on, we've kind of been really good. So I just gotta, you know, keep it up and keep learning off each other and, you know, building.
And then talk to me a little bit about becoming captain this year and just, you know, taking that extra step in your development and your leadership, what that's been like for you.
Yeah, I think, you know, being a leader is something I take lots of pride in, and, you know, that was kind of my goal this year, I think, was to be the captain of this team, and, you know, coming in here and getting named. You know, it's different too with a whole new kind of coaching staff and everything, so even for them to see that in me right away, I, you know, took lots of pride in that, and then again, just leading by example, trying to be the hardest worker on the ice every day, and you know, that's kind of how I lead. So, but yeah, pretty big honor. So, yeah, it's been great though.
Talk to me about this new coaching staff. What's it been like learning their play style and kind of adapting to them?
Yeah, I think with, you know, Brad, he's been in the NHL for like 20 years with coaching and, you know, playing. So having that kind of knowledge is, you know, pretty special. And always just, if you ever have a question, just to, you know, relay it off him. And, you know, he wants us to all play in the NHL as soon as possible, and that's how he's coaching us. So we've learned a lot from him this year, and I think you can see it in our team even how much better we've gotten all around. Gotcha.
And then next steps for you, obviously, you're looking to get this team into the playoffs and make a run. What's it going to take to make a deep run? You got your first taste of it last year. What can you do this year to make it a deeper run this year?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, it's you got to really, when you're there, you got to cherish it, right? Like, and we've had guys with Shea and even Brad, they were on the same team when they won the league in Edmonton, and so they know what it takes, and it's just, you know, every night matters. Like, you can't take off nights, and you're playing every other night. So, you know, just playing not always the most complicated hockey, just simple hockey, wearing teams down, and we know we have a super skilled team, so use that to our advantage and, you know, just hopefully roll through these playoffs.
All right. Now we got an 8-8 game here.
Is it 8-8?
It's 8-8.
So you've been keeping...
So I've been keeping track. So now we got to see if we can get the competitiveness out of you here, Berk.
Okay.
See if you can get a win. Here we go.
Okay.
There we go. Oh. Oh, good save.
Oh.
Oh, there it is. All right.
Hey,
Berkly is the winner. Good game, and best of luck the rest of the season,
thank you.
Berkly. And best of luck as you head towards playoffs.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, we're back for another episode here on the Air Hockey Table. We got Andrew and Andrew hanging out. Going to get to know Andrew Cristall a little bit and see if I can actually get a win on the Air Hockey Table. How are your air hockey skills, Andrew?
I think I'll be okay. The other guys had a good performance, but we'll see what I can do.
All right, awesome. We'll get started here. So again, just kind of take me through growing up in BC and kind of getting a feel for the game of hockey, and why was this the game for you?
Yeah, I think growing up, oh wow,
bad start.
Growing up, I kind of tried a lot of different sports, but got on the ice at a pretty early age for just some skating and skating and things like that, and then I just kind of fell in love with the game. So I mean, it's ever since I was a little kid, I just always wanted to be on the ice, and it's kind of just worked out, I guess.
Gotcha. And then, you know, at what point was it you, a coach, your parents that realized that this was something you might want to pursue professionally later on?
Yeah, I think kind of just growing up, maybe, you know, 13, 14 or whatever it was, kind of near the Bantam draft, I guess, is kind of when I thought, you know, maybe I could, you know, do this for a living and, you know, make it. So ever since, I mean, I was little, that was the dream, but maybe when I first realized it was kind of at that age.
Gotcha. And then talk to me a little bit about coming into the WHL and what that was like, learning, you know, how to be a professional with these guys and at this age and, you know, coming in a 16, 15-year-old, what that was like.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I was lucky enough to kind of play as a 15-year-old in the bubble during COVID, so that gave me a lot of, you know, pretty good experience and knowledge for kind of what the league's like. And then ever since then, I think coming in 16, and I just kind of felt more confident every single year, and you know, it's worked out pretty well, I think. Obviously, not this game, but yeah, no, I think it's been good.
And then talk to me a little bit about draft day for you. Obviously, had the Caps come calling for you beforehand? Had you had a lot of meetings with them, and how did that all shake out?
Yeah, I think I had definitely a lot of good meetings with them throughout the year. But I mean, again, like draft day, you kind of never really know what's going to happen. And when I finally did find out, and they called my name from the stage, it was a pretty surreal moment, and I couldn't have been happier to go there.
And then talk to me about this year. You start the season in Caps camp. You have a really good camp. You're one of the last cuts. But when they tell you you're going back to the WHL, just how did you kind of take that news, and what were you trying to make out of this year?
Yeah, I think, obviously I thought I had a pretty good camp with the Caps, and, they thought I did as well. And it's just kind of one of those things where, maybe another year of development, won't hurt, and kind of come back here and just kind of keep getting better and all facets of my game. So, the goal for this year when I did get that news was to win and go as far as I can. So I think that's the main goal, and I'm pretty happy to do that here.
And you're one of the top scorers in the league, and you end up getting traded.
Oh my God.
And you end up getting traded here to Spokane. Were you surprised by that move?
No, I think I kind of saw it coming. I think ever since we got the Memorial Cup in Kelowna, then they kind of let us know that they were gonna maybe move on from a couple pieces to kind of get some assets, and that was obviously including myself. So kind of saw it coming when it kind of got down to the trade deadline.
Gotcha. And then talk about coming in here, playing with Shea and Berkly, obviously two guys who have ascended to a new level this year. What's it been like playing with those guys?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a blast kind of coming here, and I thought we gelled really well off the ice, on the ice from the start, and I think that's just kind of played into the chemistry that we have, and they're obviously both really special players. It's been so much fun to play with them, and we're gonna kind of look to keep going and keep getting better every day.
And obviously your first game here, maybe just learning a little bit, and then your second game you have a hat trick. So I guess you picked it up pretty quickly with these guys, huh?
Yeah, I thought we had the first game. Obviously didn't go our way. I thought we did a lot of good things, and the pucks maybe didn't fall, but yeah, the next game was really good, and kind of good to get those first goals under my belt as a Chief and all that. So it was a lot of fun, and yeah, I think we're gonna keep building and keep getting better.
And then for you, I guess, obviously your goal is to be with the Caps next year.
Yeah.
How important would it be this year to bring home a Memorial Cup here to Spokane?
Yeah, I think it would be unbelievable. I think that's the goal of everybody, and everybody on this team especially. I think, we all believe that we can do it, and, it's just a matter of us kind of buying in and going out there and getting it done. So, hopefully what is my last year of junior hockey can end the right way.
And then, I know you're in a pretty tough battle right now with Gavin for the points lead. What has it been like this year? Obviously, you've shared the puck a lot. You've racked up a lot of assists. You're still top 10 in goals. I guess just becoming a more well-rounded player this year, how do you think that's helped you prepare for the next step?
Yeah, it's helped me a lot. I think, maybe earlier on I was definitely more of a pass first, and, maybe would pass up some shots that I should have taken and whatnot, and maybe I still do that a little bit, but I think it's good to kind of have that versatility in both, and be able to score, be able to pass, and kind of get the job done, because in the pro they don't give you a lot of space or room out there, so you kind of got to take the first option they give you, and sometimes it can be a shot, sometimes it can be a pass, so to be good at both definitely helps.
And just talk about coming into a new team and having to learning new lingo, new plays that the coaching staff may have. How tough is that?
Yeah, I think, it sometimes can be tough, but I think they've done a really good job for me here, and, they make it super simple and, really easy. So I think they communicated super well from the start, and it's definitely helped me out a lot.
Gotcha. And then I guess my last one for you here is, coming into this team, this city, I guess you'd played a few games here in your career, but what's it been like now, being a part of this team and living here in Spokane? Yeah,
I've played a few away games here definitely in my career, and it was always, super loud crowd, not very fun to play in as an away team, but, coming here, and right when I found out, it was just pure joy, and I'm super excited to kind of have that opportunity, and just living here and playing here, it's been unbelievable. So I'm, super happy with what happened. And,
playing with Berkly and Shea, I guess just how much do those guys help you out there just play freely, and, how much of a help is it to have two guys like that on your line?
Yeah, it's huge. I think when you're playing with two, elite players, it makes the game easy for you. I think if everybody kind of just does their job out there on the ice, and, I do my role and you do yours, then it's it works out pretty well. So I think we've done, a really good job of kind of, building off of each other and playing well. So yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, Andrew, thank you so much. Got my first win in the series
Brutal.
today. I'm
Brutal.
sorry about
Yeah.
that. You're going to get some guff from the boys after that,
Yeah.
but good luck the rest of the way, and we'll see you guys in the playoffs.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, I let him win, obviously. So yeah.
Well, as you guys know, San Diego boy, I can't ice skate, so we're bringing the game inside. Pleased to be joined by the WHL's leading goal scorer right now, Shea Van Olm. Shea, talk to me a little bit about your air hockey game. Are you good? Has it been a long time since you played?
Yeah, it's been a little while. I'd say I'm a pretty good player, obviously playing hockey, but yeah, I guess we'll see.
A little bit of a different game, but you can
bit of a
handle
different
it.
game, yeah.
All right, there you go.
Let's go.
Well, Shea, again, just kind of talk to me a little bit about growing up, your beginnings in hockey, and why was this a sport? Obviously, growing up in Calgary, I know it's a big sport out there, but why was this the sport for you growing up?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was born in Calgary and then actually moved to Montreal and grew up in Quebec. Oh, there's one for you there.
That's an own goal there.
Yeah, I grew up in Quebec and to be honest, just followed in my older brother's footsteps. And he played hockey from a young age and in the backyard rink. So yeah, I just started that way.
And I guess when did you first notice that your game was getting to that level where you could think about being professional?
Yeah, I think around in Pee Wee, they do the Pee Wee Prospects Cup in Calgary, and we had the tryouts there for that, and then moving into I'm getting dominated. Moving into Bantam, you think about the Bantam draft and stuff is a big thing. So yeah, I think when I got drafted by Edmonton there, I think that was kind of the first step in the right direction. So yeah, I'd say from that point on.
And then talk to me a little bit about your beginnings in the WHL with Edmonton. You guys win the cup. Brad was your head coach back then.
Yeah.
What's it like playing for that guy, and take me through that experience?
Yeah, I mean it's full circle, right?
Yeah.
Having Brad as Brad as a rookie and then as a 20-year-old player has been, it's been awesome. He's a phenomenal coach and a great leader and role model. And yeah, coming into Edmonton as a young player, I was, fresh face, new to the league and new to the speed and everything. So it took me a little bit to adjust, but I just worked hard every summer to get better and yeah, come back every year bigger and stronger.
And then talk to me a little bit about the trade heading into last year, I guess. What was kind of your mindset when you get moved, and how do you kind of adapt when you get to a new team?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, being traded is it's part of our game, whether you like it or not. And when I was traded at the deadline to Spokane, I was super happy and fortunate to come to a team that was in a playoff push. And it was awesome. We had a great run to the playoffs last year, fell short in the first round, but it's good to get those building years to build towards a season like this.
And I think in your first 2 years in Edmonton, you had 8 goals apiece in your first 2 full seasons.
Yeah.
And then last year you had 24. What changed?
Yeah, I mean, I think opportunity and ice time is a big thing. There
you go.
I think, opportunity is a big thing, but also just confidence for sure. And like I said about having big off seasons, right? Just working on your shot and coming back better every year. So I think it's just a combination of things.
And then heading into this year, obviously the expectations were put on you guys early with the Memorial Cup bid that, the management wanted this to be a big season for you guys.
Yeah.
I guess just how did you guys handle that, and were you kind of aware that this was the year you guys could take that step?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously disappointing for the management and the younger players of this team to not get the Memorial Cup. I've been fortunate enough to go to 2 Memorial Cups, and they're pretty special events that go on. So, I think when we didn't get that Memorial Cup, host for next season, I think mentality changed a little bit and kind of geared towards just going for it this year. And obviously with the additions you mentioned earlier, I think that's going to help us down the stretch.
And then, coming into this season, I guess, did you feel anything different heading into this season? Because obviously you've just been on a tear so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a 20-year-old guy, that's sort of the expectation I had for myself. You're only allowed 3 20-year-olds on each team, so just being physically more mature and mentally more mature than most of the kids in the league. So, I just wanted to have that mindset that, I should be doing this, and to come in and do what I've done is, credit myself for having a big summer, and yeah, just being ready to go for the year and not take game for granted.
Now, with the rule changes, obviously, you've decided that you're going to go play college hockey at Penn State.
Yeah.
Talk me through that decision and just kind of how excited you are for that.
Yeah, for sure. It was a lot different than what I'm used to. The college goal line save there.
Yeah.
The college recruitment it's a lot different than WHL getting scouted and getting drafted. So yeah, I had to talk with a bunch of teams and narrowed it down to my final 3. And Penn State had a lot of things that I was looking for, hockey-wise, school-wise, and the culture down there. So yeah, super excited. Oh yeah, there we go. Super excited to have the opportunity to go there. Still focused on getting a pro deal if I can, but yeah, no, it's exciting and it's a great rule, I think, for someone like me that can just keep getting better and evolve as a student as well.
Gotcha. And then I guess just when you heard about the rule, was that something where you were like, oh my gosh, I'm
Own goal.
getting dominated here? Was that something where you were like, this is something that I really want to do, or was it just like, this is a good opportunity that I want to see if I can do?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think it's a number. Oh yeah,
I'm getting
sniping.
Crushed here.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I think for sure it's a great opportunity. I think to coming in this year, traditionally it would either be sign a pro deal or go play college in Canada. So to have the same sort of outcome, but my plan B to be play in the NCAA is awesome for me. So like I said, still focused on trying to get a pro contract, and if that doesn't work out, I'm super excited and fortunate to go to a school like Penn State and play hockey there.
And talk to me about these 2 years in Spokane, what it's been like, kind of learning these guys. Now they're a little slow on there.
Yeah, slow.
And just kind of, learning Burke's play style last year and kind of getting a feel for this team.
Yeah, for sure. I came in last year and played with Berkly and Connor Roulette, and just gaining chemistry with Berkly throughout last season I think was big building into this year, and I think that was sort of the plan with me. That was sort of the plan with me getting traded there.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, tight one. So I think chemistry's huge, and it was. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Is that it?
That's it. That's
Wow.
it. But we'll keep chatting.
All right.
I guess coming into this year, once the moves were made to get Smith and Sam, eventually you guys bring in AC. It seems like you guys were going for it from the beginning.
Yeah.
What has that been like playing with these 2 guys on that top line and also the rest of this team? As it seems like this is the team that management thinks can get you guys to a Memorial Cup.
Yeah, for sure. I think, first and foremost, there's 3 great people we brought into the organization, great teammates and leaders as well. Obviously, all 3 of those guys have a lot of experience in this league. And then, touching on playing with Andrew and Berkly, it's been amazing. 2 very highly skilled guys. Obviously, their kind of reputation speaks for itself. And then just for me, just getting open, going to the dirty areas and getting pucks back for them and going to the net is sort of my game. And I think, like Berkly said, complement each other.
And now leading the league in goals, is that more what you're doing out there, or is that the help you're getting from these guys setting you up?
Yeah, I got to give those guys credit. I think I can still score on my own, I think. But yeah, for sure. I try not to think about it. Obviously, just trying to score just to help the team get wins. And yeah, Berkly and Andrew are pretty good passers. So I'm ready to shoot if they're going to put it in my wheelhouse.
And as you guys look forward to the rest of the season, if this is your last year in junior hockey, what would it mean to get back to the Memorial Cup and bring one back to Spokane?
Yeah, for sure, it'd mean a lot. Obviously, we got to win our way there. So our focus is the playoffs and having a deep run. And I can't look too far ahead. But for me, obviously, been there twice, and I've lost the Mem Cup twice. So 3rd time's a charm. And I really hope we can get back there. I think that'd be really special for me personally, especially with Brad. That'd be super full circle. So, yeah, it's super exciting, and I believe in our group.
And my last one for you, it seems like clutch time this year, the puck finds its way onto your stick. What about those moments makes you kind of rise to your best level?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's who you want to be. You want to be counted upon in the last minute of the game and in overtime and things like that. So, yeah, I think clutch factor, clutch gene, or whatever you want to call it. But, I got to give credit to my line mates again. It's a team effort out there.
All right, Shea Van Olm, another L for Andrew. We'll keep trying, though. Thanks, Shea.
Awesome, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.